Hey, I'm Lindsay Lyman with Felt Flower Academy. Today I want to talk about what are the must-haves and a few nice-to-haves when you start out with felt flowers. Very first thing you're going to want to go out and get is a glue gun. Why? Hot glue is going to be your fastest, most versatile option to making felt flowers. You can use other types of glue. I just don't have the patience to wait for it to dry, and sometimes it doesn't adhere to the felt very well. So I recommend that you use a hot glue gun and that you use a mini glue gun. Now, there's lots of different options when it comes to mini glue guns, but I want you to look at the difference between these two options here. When it comes to glue, less is more. Do you see how this one, the tip of it, has this little tiny copper piece here that makes it even smaller? This is the glue gun I recommend. I love it because the small tip helps you use even less glue. When it comes to glue, less is more. And so this helps you not have as much glue. You're not going to have as much glue seeping out in your arrangements. You're not going to have as many glue strings. Again, this is also an option. This is a mini glue gun, but having a glue gun with a little tip is going to make all the difference. I also really like this one because it has an on-off switch. And I'm kind of lazy and it's annoying to have to plug it in and unplug it every single time. So I love that on-off switch so that I can leave it plugged in all the time. Next, you're going to want some wire. Now, the important thing to keep in mind with floral wire is the higher the number, the smaller and skinnier the wire is going to be. So floral wire comes in all different kinds of gauges with all different types of finish. These two here are just bare floral wire, and this one is covered in, it's almost like a floss, like a string, and this one is covered in paper. So what I recommend is that you get a skinnier and a fatter wire being like an 18 gauge, a skinnier wire being a 20 or 22 gauge. And I recommend you use those two different versions of wire. Wire is crucial for two different reasons. One, we use it when we create our felt flowers because unlike paper, felt does not hold its shape when you bend it or curve it all the time. There's certain tips and tricks I'll teach you of how to do that, but wire is a main way that we use to help create a particular shape and bend our felt and have it hold its shape. You also need wire to stem your felt flowers when you go and put them in the arrangement. Now, the other thing to keep in mind with wire is felt sticks to felt very well, and less is more. But felt sometimes doesn't stick to the wire long-term extremely well. I kind of think of it as like, when you get a glow stick and you crack it and it breaks apart, that can happen sometimes with your felt arrangements on flower. It will almost crack and snap and break off of the wire, which is why it's important if you're using a wire stem to cover it in something. You can cover it in scraps of felt, you can cover it in floral tape, or you can buy wire already covered in some sort of material. So I'll link to a few different wire options as well. You just want to keep in mind, you want to make sure that it's covered in something. So we've got our glue, we've got our wire. Now we need some felt. The main thing to know with felt is there's three main different types of felt. The first is the polyester felt or craft felt that's going to be your cheapest option. And this is what most big department stores sell for, under $1 a sheet. So this is polyester craft felt. Now, this is a great option if you're just beginning or wanting to practice. But the thing to keep in mind, the polyester felt, I don't love it for a few reasons. One, it's very shiny compared to this other felt that I will show you in a minute. It's thinner and the color options are not as great. It's very, very bright and intense. Sometimes we want pops of intenseness, but keep in mind the quality of the felt you use will impact the overall quality of the arrangement you make. So the first type of felt is polyester. This is going to be your cheapest option. Again, this is what the big box craft stores sell readily in little sheets or by the yard. Great option to start out, but I would recommend you actually use a wool blend felt. So the other two types of felt are a wool blend felt or a wool felt. So this is a wool blend felt. Do you see how it's not as shiny compared to the polyester felt, and it's a little bit thicker. And this, why more expensive than the polyester felt, it runs about $12 to $15 a yard. Now, a yard of felt is going to make you a lot of flowers, but that's still within a reasonable price range. So why this is a wool blend felt, this is 100% wool felt. Now let me show you, there's a few differences here. Can you see the thickness difference between these two? The 100% wool blend is much thicker. However, the cost for a 100% wool blend is about $50 to $60 a yard. And what I have found is the wool blend felt works perfect. It has beautiful, vibrant colors. It's a little bit thicker than the polyester. It doesn't have that shine and that sheen, and it creates a very nice finish. If I do need it thicker, I simply just double it up. And cost-wise, it's still much more effective to double it up if I need than to buy the 100% wool blend felt. Now, there may be certain things that you want to use this for, but I think this is more for if I was creating something I was going to wear, like a jacket or a bag or a purse. This is meant for much more intense use than what we're going to be doing with creating felt flowers that will sit on display in your home. So again, there's 3 types of felt: the polyester craft felt, a wool blend felt, or 100% wool felt. I recommend practicing with the polyester craft felt, but when you go to make your final arrangement, use the wool blend felt. Again, below this video, I'll link to places where you can get these on Amazon's, or I recommend a local seller, Benzie, who's an amazing shop to buy wool blend felt from. All right, the last thing you're going to need is a good old-fashioned sharp pair of scissors. You'll notice my scissors are all tagged because my children know these are craft scissors. Do not use them or mom will get mad. You just want to make sure that your scissors are sharp. If you already have a sharp pair of scissors at home, go ahead and use those. I always recommend buying a pair and making sure that you only use it for felt. But you could also take your scissors down to your local quilt shop, and most quilt shops have a scissor sharpening service that you could pay to get your scissors sharpened. And really, that's all you need to get started. There's 2 other inexpensive items I'd highly recommend that are going to help save you time and make your finished product look so much more professional and put together. So the 2 nice to have items are, first, sewing clips. These are plastic. You can buy 100 of them for under $10 on Amazon. 100 of them will be more than enough of what you need. The reason these are so helpful is because many times when we're creating felt flowers, we are hot gluing them together, and you need to make sure and hold it together until the glue is dried. So having the clips saves you so much time because you can glue it, clip it, set it down, and glue the next one while the glue dries. Again, not required, just a big time saver, and I think well worth the $10. The other thing that I would recommend is buying a pair of scissors that are curved. So do you see how these scissors curve up at the tip? What this allows you to do is inevitably you're going to have glue that seeps out of your petals and shows, and we don't want to see the glue. So this allows you to really get in there and cut really close to the felt to cut out all of the glue. And I like the smaller version because it enables you to get into some of those really tiny nooks and crannies of your arrangement, because you don't want to be able to see the glue on your finished product. The most important thing to remember is this is crafting. It's supposed to be fun. It's good for our mental health. Play around with things, try different things out. Make sure you carve out a few minutes a week to craft and create. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can learn more about felt flowers every week. You got this. We'll talk soon.